Honorable Ichungwaah, Honorable Millie says she's in a good mood today. She's not willing to deal with you. I'll call you to reply. There being no further request on this one.
Thank you, Speaker. And as a reply, I don't know if you also heard the first sentence from the Honorable Millie. She says she knows I miss her, but she's not going to deal with me today. Honorable Speaker, and she knows I was not harassing her because I know how passionate Millie is on child welfare and child care matters, and indeed matters touching on women's rights and gender equality. Therefore, I cannot harass her, and I know she was also missing me, and she's happy to see me, just like as I'm happy to see her. But Honorable Speaker, allow me as a reply to begin with the issue, that particular issue of the provisions relating to the Child Care Act. And Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned, I think the Honorable Owen Bayer mentioned during the time he was moving this bill on my behalf, this emanated from a court ruling that allowed now single males to be able to adopt children. But there are concerns, Honorable Speaker, and I want to agree with many members who have raised this issue, that indeed there is a major concern on matters touching on issues to do with child trafficking. There are also issues touching
Hold on. Honorable Kaluma, what's out of order?
Your Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Majority Leader, whom I respect very much, has mentioned proposed in this bill, which is arising from some court ruling. Would we have that court ruling so that we are rightly informed? Because I'm not aware of any. And I doubt any legitimate court, proper court, and we have very competent courts, can make such a ruling in the light of the provisions of Article 53 of the Constitution.
Honorable Ichungwaah, do you have that? Do you have the court ruling?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, and if the Honorable Kaluma was here during the time the Deputy Leader of Majority moved this bill, he actually, and if you go back to the answer, you'll be able to see, he actually quoted the actual case and the actual court ruling that exists. But that is not to say, Honorable Speaker, that there are no concerns even without the court ruling, and we can get to the answer then for the Honorable Kaluma, who is a very polished lawyer, to be able to go through the ruling, and he should be able to tell us whether they can be able to challenge that particular ruling in court. But also, because members have raised the same issues that I agree with, Honorable Speaker, there are major concerns, especially with issues touching on child trafficking when we allow single males to be able to adopt children. Honorable Speaker, there are also issues to do with issues that I do not want to mention, Honorable Speaker, touching on the care of children. But it is okay for a single male to adopt a relative. Honorable Speaker, for instance, if I wasn't married, or if the Honorable Kaluma wasn't married, and by bad luck, a relative you lost a relative and who has a child, you should be able to adopt that child. But if you have no relation to a child, Honorable Speaker, I think it is only right that we do not allow single males who have no relation to a child, as it were in the original act. And Honorable Speaker, during the third reading, we'll be moving amendments to drop this particular amendment to also allow the House to consider, together with other substantive bills other than in statute miscellaneous bill, the consideration of even all those provisions that have been nullified by the courts in a substantive child care bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you've also heard the concerns that have been raised by the Committee on Industry and Trade and Industry on certain provisions of the Scrap Metal Act. And again, Honorable Speaker, we'll be moving to effect the necessary amendments during the Committee of the Whole and the third reading. Honorable Speaker, there are also concerns that have been raised, I think, by the Honorable Aramat during debate on provisions that relate to the winding up of the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency and transferring most of its functions to the ministry. And again, Honorable Speaker, we'll be considering those particular concerns during third reading and Committee of the Whole House. On the Fisheries and Management Development Act, as I mentioned to my good friend Millie, there's actually a substantive bill on matters touching on fisheries management that I know is currently in the Senate, and when it comes, it will cover many more of the issues that touch on our fisheries management. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply. And Honorable Speaker, as I reply, also to request you to indulge the House to have the question put at a later time other than now for obvious reasons.
Thank you. The request is assented to. Honorable members, we'll move to the next order. And just to note, maybe let me get the order read out first.
Order number 9, motion